Yes, good afternoon, students. So we continue with the third lecture of the reproduction in lower and higher animals, right? So we had ended with female reproductive system. Just we had begun with rather with the female reproductive system. So the slide that has been shared here is of the female reproductive system. Now, in this female reproductive system that I said you last time, like in the males, also you have the external genitalia and internal genitalia. In the similar way, the females also have the internal and the external genitalia. So, first we see the internal genitalia and how does it work, because that is the main place where the reproduction actually takes place. Okay, so now here in the diagram you will be able to see there are a pair of ovaries present on either side of the uterus. Now these ovaries are attached to the wall of the uterus by the ligament. Now these ovaries, what do they produce? They produce the egg or the ovum. Now each right and the left ovary produces one egg at a time. That means in 1 month, maybe the left will start with producing an egg. So the next one, the right side ovary will produce the egg. Now we need to understand that this ovary continues ahead with the infundibulum or the fimbriae, and it continues down into the oviduct, into the uterus, and then ends up with the cervix and the vagina. Okay. Now, this ovary, when you see the structure of the ovary, here, the TS of the ovary, you will see it is bounded by the germinal epithelium, followed by thick layer of fibrous tissue, the tunica albuginea. The stroma is formed of connective tissue interspersed with blood cells, nerve fibers, and spindle-shaped cells. Now, what is that portion? That portion is the central part of the ovary. That means the ovary, when you see the outer edge, that is basically the cortex, and the inner portion is the medulla. That medulla, the central part, is called as the stroma, which is basically consisting of the blood cells, the nerve fibers, and the spindle shaped cells. Now, in the cortex, you find a primordial follicle. In the diagram, you would be able to see there are primordial follicles, then there is secondary follicle, then this secondary follicle gets surrounded by the tissue and forms the machographene follicle. Now this machographene follicle inside has the oocyte or the egg which has been released out, right? Now basically what happens, how is this process taking place? This process is same as that of the spermatogenesis. That is how the sperm has been formed. In the same way, this process of the formation of the egg is from the basically from the primordial follicle, and then it continues to form the egg. So the whole process is called as the oogenesis. Okay. Now, the oogenesis starts much before the birth of the female baby, and by the end of the 12 weeks, the ovary is fully formed. So, it has more than 2 million primordial follicles in it. Okay. Now, the cells of the germinal epithelium gives rise to groups of oogonia projecting into the cortex in the form of cords called the egg tubes of pleasure. Each cord at its end has a round mass of oogonial cells called eggness, from which the primordial ovarian follicle develop. Now in this, you would find the primary oocyte starts with its meiotic division but gets arrested at the meiosis 1. Now all the structure, this entire structure would be explained further in the process of oogenesis. Like in case of the male, also we had the 3 different steps, that is the multiplication phase, the growth phase and the maturation phase. So in the similar way, the 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 females, the female reproductive cell, the female reproductive organ also begins with the germinal epithelium, and then it develops into the egg. The entire process we say is called as the oogenesis. So the formation of the haploid female gamete or the egg or the ovum from the diploid germinal epithelium, we say that is called as the oogenesis. So it also consists of the mitotic and the meiotic divisions that we'll see later on. But for you to understand that the ovary produces the egg. Now, when does an ovary produce an egg? The ovary will start producing an egg only once the female is matured. Now, how will you come to know that the female has matured? At the onset of the maturity, it is called as the puberty. Now, that means, now initially, like in males, they were secondary sexual characters. In the similar way, the females also have the secondary sexual characters. Now, all these secondary sexual characters are being produced from the pituitary gland, from the hypothalamus. So, as and when the small child grows up, you would find a lot many changes in the female body that have been taking place. So, in the process of development of the secondary sexual characters, you could see the females developing breasts, the voice is much smoother, long, silken hair, right? Now, by the age of 13, the female tends to get matured, and when a female gets matured, we say the female has attained puberty. Okay, so the beginning, the first menstrual cycle or the menarche begins at the age of 13. Now, the female begins with menarche and ends with menopause. Now, what is menopause? Menopause is when the menstrual cycle stops. So, that could vary between the age of 45 to 55 years. Okay, that means at the age of 13, the egg is been released out and it's taken up by the, now here in the ovary here, you would see that the egg will be released and it is taken up by the infundibulum with the help of the fimbriae, and the egg goes and waits at the ampulla. Yes. Now If that egg gets fertilized with the male sperm, then the zygote is formed, the embryo has been formed, and that embryo travels down into the uterus and gets attached to the wall of the uterus, and the pregnancy sets in. Now, in case if the egg is not fertilized, then you would see here in the diagram, you will be able to see young corpus luteum. Now, before to that, you can see the oocyte has been released. Okay. Now, the oocyte, that means the egg has been released out, and the leftover part of the Graafian follicle is called as the corpus luteum. Now, if that egg which has been released is fertilized, the corpus luteum remains and then will support the pregnancy. But in case if the egg is not fertilized, that corpus luteum breaks down into a structure called as corpus albicans. See, in the last part of the TS of the ovary at the corner, you'll be able to see there is corpus albicans. Okay. Now this whole process could be explained in a different form with the help of the menstrual cycle. Now, this menstrual cycle, as you can understand, the menstrual cycle, when does it start? When the when the when the female has an onset of the puberty, that is the menstrual cycle starts or the ovarian cycle starts, and at the age of around 13. Now, at the age of 13 could not be fixed. It varies from the physical development of the child. Now, in case of the Indian females, it could be 13, it could be 15, 16 years also. But in the Western countries, the menstrual cycle could come much earlier than the 13 years of age because of the physical development of the body. Because in the Western countries, the female is much physically developed, much better nourished in comparison to the Asian countries. Okay. Now, you need to understand this menstrual cycle or the formation of the egg and the entire process of the female reproductive system is basically controlled by the pituitary hormones. That means each and every step of the formation of the egg, the formation of the Graafian follicle, the release of the egg, the development of the corpus luteum, and the corpus albicans, the entire changes that are taking place in the ovary, everything is being controlled by the pituitary hormone. Now here we need to understand first of all what is the menstrual cycle and how does it work, and what are the different hormonal changes that are taking place inside the female ovary so as it helps in the pregnancy if the egg is fertilized, or if the egg is not fertilized, then leads to the menstrual cycle. So the both the parts we would try to understand here. Now here you can see the menstrual cycle describes the reoccurring changes that occur within the female reproductive system to make the pregnancy possible. That means if the pregnancy sets in, the menstrual cycle totally stops. Okay. Now, each menstrual cycle lasts roughly for 1 month, that is 28 days, and begins at the puberty, that is menarche, before ending with the menopause. So, the menopause, as I said, is the last part of the female reproductive system between the age of 45 to 55 years. And the menarche begins with the age of 13. Now, here in the menstrual or the ovarian cycle, there are two groups of hormones which control and coordinate the menstrual cycle. So the first set of hormones that are secreted by the pituitary hormones or the pituitary gland is the FSH and the LH. Now what is that FSH and the LH? FSH is the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone that have been released by the anterior pituitary gland and act on the ovaries to develop the follicles. Now, as in the earlier diagram, you saw that graphene follicle that has been formed inside which the oocyte is present. That means the follicle stimulating hormone, as the word suggests, follicle stimulating hormone. That means it helps in the formation of the follicles. And the luteinizing hormone that helps in the development of the egg and then the development of the uterus. We will see now. Now, the next one, the ovarian hormones, that is the estrogen and the progesterone that have been released by the ovaries that act on the uterus to prepare for the pregnancy. So, there are four set of hormones that have been secreted. That means if the follicle stimulating hormone is been released, it will help in formation of the follicles, the graphene follicle, and then it will support the formation of the breast, yes, and the development of the uterus. In the similar way, simultaneously, the estrogen and the progesterone is also released, which would help in the development of the uterus. That means the endometrium, the inner lining of the uterus, needs to get developed so that the pregnancy sets in. Now here in the diagram, you could see the here it's been shown the follicular phase and the luteal phase. Okay. Now we go ahead, little ahead. One second. Now see here the events in the menstrual cycle. Now basically there are four events that comprise of a typical menstrual cycle: the follicular phase, the ovulation phase, the luteal phase, and the menstrual phase. Now, what happens in the follicular phase? In the follicular phase, the follicle stimulating hormone is being secreted from the anterior pituitary from the pituitary gland and stimulates the growth of the ovarian follicles. The dominant follicle produces estrogen, which inhibits follicle stimulating hormone to prevent other follicles growing along with it. So the estrogen acts on the uterus to stimulate the thickening of the endometrium wall. So here you could see in the structure of the fundus of the uterus. Now that the pink part is the uterus, wherein inside you will be able to see the red lining inside, that is the endometrium. That means once the egg or the graphene follicle from one side of the ovary has been released, it will not produce more eggs. Okay? It will not produce any further more eggs. So then what would happen? What did it say? It said that the follicle stimulating hormone then see here, understand, in the menstrual phase, now we had begun with the follicle stage, right? In the follicle stage, very low amount of follicle stimulating hormone, that is the follicle has been released. Okay. So the follicle once released will not release more follicles. वो एक ही अंडा रिलीज करेगा, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. ठीक है. Now here in this particular chart, you could compare out what happens to the levels of the different hormones, that is the follicle stimulating hormone, the luteinizing hormone, the estrogen, the progesterone, and what happens in the ovary and what happens in the uterus. So when the menstrual cycle is there, the follicle stimulating hormone is very low. But after menstrual cycle, it has to release an egg. So the follicle stimulating hormone is very low initially, then it will go high up. High up, why? Why? Because in the ovulation period, the egg is been released. So the Graafian follicle is totally fully developed, which releases out the oocyte, and the corpus luteum is initially very low. Now here in the second one, in the luteinizing hormone, also the menstrual cycle, the levels are very low. Again in the follicle stage it is very low. It goes very high in the ovulation. Why? Because it has to release the egg, and the corpus luteum again it is very low. Okay. Now here so try to see here again. The FSH stimulates the follicular growth in ovaries. It will stimulate the estrogen secretion, so it will develop the follicles. And the luteinizing hormone surges the ovulation. Now what is ovulation? Ovulation is basically the release of the here you can see the blue lines and the green lines on the left and the right. In the center you would be able to see the egg has been released. Now here in the pink form eggs that has been showing the maturing follicle. So you can see the levels of the follicular hormone, how it is going high up at the time of ovulation. So what is ovulation? Ovulation is basically when the egg is been released out from the Graafian follicle. Okay, so that time see the peak of the FSH and LH is high, and initially the levels of the estrogen and the progesterone is low, but at the time of ovulation the progesterone is low and the estrogen goes high up. Okay, now once the egg has been released, you will see the FSH and the LH goes down again. That means it will not release any more eggs, and then the corpus luteum is been formed. Now when the corpus luteum is formed, the egg, that means the egg has been released out, and it is waiting for the sperm to fertilize it. Now by the time it is waiting for the egg to fertilize, what would happen? The inner wall of the uterus starts developing out to form the endometrium. That means the womb or the uterus is preparing itself for the pregnancy, or it is waiting for the baby to set in. So it is just like घर में मेहमान आने वाला है, मेहमान के आने की तैयारी में सब पकवान तैयार हो रहे हैं, तो वो मेहमान आएगा कि नहीं आएगा हमें नहीं मालूम है, तो वो मेहमान कौन है? The embryo. So the embryo might come or may not come, that depends on the entry of the sperm. So the egg is ready to be fertilized. Okay, now that period of fertilization is called as ovulation. Now here in ovulation you see here the LH causes the dominant follicle to rupture and release an egg, that is the secondary oocyte is been released. So this is called as the ovulation. Now the ruptured follicle in the luteal phase, you would see the ruptured follicle develops into a slowly degenerating corpus luteum. Now the corpus luteum secretes high level of progesterone as well as low levels of estrogen. So the estrogen and the progesterone act on the uterus to thicken the endometrium lining. That means the inner lining of the uterus becomes very tortuous and it's preparing itself for the pregnancy. So the estrogen and progesterone also inhibit the secretion of the follicles. मतलब और अंडा नहीं उत्पन्न होगा और पैदा नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि एक अंडा ऑलरेडी आ चुका है, is ready for fertilization. Okay, so if the fertilization occurs, so if the sperm enters into the female reproductive system and if the fertilization occurs, the developing embryo will implant in the endometrium and release the hormones to sustain the corpus luteum. That means once the egg is fertilized, and once the egg is fertilized, the process of the cleavage and the that is the blastula and the gastrulation takes place, and the entire, here if you just see here 1 minute. So here you can see here the primary follicles contain oocyte and begin producing the sex hormone, the estrogen. The secondary follicles contain secondary oocyte and produce the sex hormones, the estrogen, the progesterone. Then you could see the Graafian follicle develops, the oocyte forms, and the ovulation takes place. The secondary oocyte has been released. And when it releases, the corpus luteum produces the female sex hormones and the corpus luteum degenerates. But it only degenerates if the pregnancy does not set in. If the pregnancy does not set in, then it will break in. Otherwise, if the pregnancy sets in, then the progesterone level will go high to support the corpus luteum and supports the process of pregnancy. So here, 1 minute, just try to understand this. See here. Here in this particular diagram, ovulation, you can see the ovary is been attached through the ligament to the uterus. Then the egg is been released out. The secondary oocyte has been released out, and the process is called as ovulation. Now, in the ovulation, you would see the sperm has entered. Okay, now the sperm has entered, so you could see the sperm entering, and it has then fertilized the oocyte, the secondary oocyte, and it forms a zygote. Now after the zygote, you find there are cellular divisions taking place, and once this many divisions takes place, that is the cleavage takes place, and you could see that zygote traveling up the oviduct and coming and setting itself in the endometrium. Okay, so here in the central portion of the uterus, you could see that egg, or the embryo is been implanted, and that is how the entire process of the pregnancy sets in. You can see this particular diagram also. So it is shown by day wise. So when you see the menstrual cycle, from the day 1 of the menstrual to the 5th and 6th day is the menstrual period. Yes, after the menses get over, the follicle stimulating hormone secretes or forms the Graafian follicle, and then till the 12th to 13th day, the Graafian follicle has been formed, and from 12th to 13th day till the 16th day, the ovulation or the egg has been released. The egg has been released on the 14th day. So the egg when released is called as the ovulation day, that is on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. Now the egg remains there for 2 days. Now within the 2 days, if the sperm enters into the oviduct, then it is okay. So you can see here, though in the ovulation, the sperm has entered into the oviduct, and then that fertilized egg or the zygote undergoes division to form the first cleavage, second cleavage, all the different stages, and then lands up and implants itself on the 8th and 9th day of the pregnancy. Okay, This was the entire process that is shown here is the setting in of the pregnancy. Now, in case if the pregnancy does not set in, what happens then? This here it's shown how the pregnancy sets in. That means अंडा रिलीज होने के बाद sperm आया, sperm ने egg को fertilize कर दिया, fertilization takes place and the entire changes takes place in the zygote, and then that gets implanted in the uterus wall or the endometrium. Now in case if the pregnancy does not set in, now if the pregnancy does not set in, then what? See here what happens in the ovary. So in the menstrual cycle, primary follicle enlarges, develops. Follicle stage, primary follicle enlarges and develops. Ovulation on the 14th day, the egg is released into the fallopian tubes and the corpus luteum, the follicle turns into corpus luteum and it tries to degenerate. But what happens within the uterus? Here you can see in the corpus luteum stage, the endometrium maintain its thickness. That means the inner lining of the uterus is thickened up so as to accept the embryo. Now here you could see here in this particular graph, you could see 1 to 28 days. As we said, the menstrual cycle is for 28 days. So you could see 1 to 5 days, you can see the menstrual cycle is there, okay, and you would find the follicle is been developing. So once the menstrual cycle is been stopped, the follicle stimulating hormones secretes or forms many eggs, divides and redivides, okay, and releases out the egg. Now that releasing egg is the ovulation day, that is the 14th day. So you could see from 15 to the 14th day, there is 5 mentioned, 10 mentioned, and there is 15. 15 se pehle, that is the 14th day. The 14th day ovulation takes place, and 14th day, the 2 days the egg remains, and then the corpus luteum which is there was supposed to be there if the pregnancy sets in, but if the pregnancy does not set in, then it forms corpus albicans, and the graph falls down. You can see there the progesterone which is high up then falls down. Even the estrogen falls down. That means it shows that the egg is not fertilized, and the pregnancy maintain karne wale hormones, they drop down. So here in the flow chart showing the hormonal action during menstrual cycle, here you could see there is a positive and a negative feedback. So according to the setting of the menstrual cycle and the pregnancy, there is a feedback to the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, so that according, if the pregnancy sets in, these set of hormones are released, and if the pregnancy does not set in, this set of hormones are released. So in a female body, every 28 days this cycle is repeated month after month. Okay, clear? So you need to understand this is a continuous process till she ends up with menopause by the age of 45 to 55 years. Now that also varies from individual to individual. Okay, so you need to understand this. So here you could see the number of the primordial follicle Then the secondary follicle, the oocyte, the corpus luteum, and the corpus albicans. So this is the entire process of follicular maturation taking place in the TS of the ovary. Okay. Now this was the entire structure of the internal genitalia, and the external genitalia, basically the vagina or the vulva, yes, and the clitoris, labia majora and the labia minora. Okay, so this is the passage from where the parturition process takes place and the baby tends to come out, and from where the menstrual cycle also comes out during the if the endometrium is not set up with the embryo, then the endometrium breaks down and comes out through the vaginal process, the vaginal cavity. Clear? Is that clear, all of you? Okay, so we end our today's lecture with the study of the female reproductive system and the menstrual cycle. So next time we will continue with the oogenesis and the structure of the ovum and the process of fertilization. What are the changes that are taking place during the fertilization, and then the process of the cleavage or the cell division or the setting of the embryo into the uterus. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.